I started saying no to situations that made me feel off, like going to a man's place on the first date.
No.
And after that, suddenly, men paid the bill, friends respected me, and my income doubled. A guy asked me to his place on the first date, and immediately my signals went off and I felt uncomfortable. So I texted him back like, hey, do you mind if we meet at a restaurant on the first date? It kind of makes me feel uncomfortable to go back to your place. And he goes, yeah, you're right. I was just looking to pound.
Ugh.
Ew. Gross. But you know what? I was freaking right. All right? I felt it in my gut and I was right. I said no as soon as I felt something was off, and lo and behold, he was a gross, dirty Joey sack of donuts. Your gut already knows your boundaries before you do. It is your job to listen to it. And people pleasers especially go against their gut all the time. So I'm here to tell you to listen to your gut. A couple weeks before I met this guy, I told myself, I was like, you know what? I am tired of ending up in situationships, tired of being breadcrumbed. I am no longer going to get intimate with a guy until I am so clear on his intentions for me. I set that rule for myself like weeks before. And then obviously you go about your life. I kind of forgot about it. But then as soon as he texted me that, my signals went off. So it's like, not only do you have to set boundaries for yourself, but then when you have the signal, mayday, someone's crossing the line that you made for yourself, you have to double down right then and there and say no. And luckily I did, and that's how I escaped this scumbag. Because let me tell you, it would have been worse if I ended up at his place just trying to be nice, and he started trying to touch me and get up all on me, and then I would feel like gross, and then I would be like, no, I don't want to, and then we'd have that weird back and forth. Like, just save yourself the time and energy of being disappointed and disrespected. I'll be honest, since I've laid out this rule of not getting intimate with men right away, I have gone on less dates. It has been a bit of tumbleweeds in my romance land, but I have been able to use that time to pour back into myself. Because when I talk to some girls about this, they'll be like, oh my gosh, they're not dating so much, you're not like constantly on the apps, constantly going out. Like, they look at me like I'm losing something. But I'm like, no, I'm gaining my life back. I have time to pour back into my passions, pour back into improving my finances, my health, nurturing actual friendships of people who are likely going to stick around in my life. You think I'm losing something because I'm less busy in that area, but I honestly just lost a lot of pretenders. You are keeping your life filled with pretender guys by not setting certain boundaries for yourself and letting any, Tom, Dick, or Harry off the street into your bedroom or into your life. Now, once again, this isn't about shaming or, slut shaming. I'm not, terribly religious. This is more of like, what do you actually want? Put in boundaries and expectations for yourself that allow you to receive it and cut you off from any other circumstances besides the circumstance that you want. I've cut out a lot of friends out of my life too. To the point where I've been like, hey, self, do you want anyone to come to your birthday party? And I'll be honest, it is a multi-layered process. There are some friends in your life that you should obviously cut out of your life. But then there's some friends who are like these secret haters. You're like, do you love me or hate me? I know one time I was at a party and I started talking to this girl who was a friend. She wasn't my best friend, but a friend. And we're laughing, haha, kikiing. And then someone else comes up to us and this person was like, Melanie, you look great tonight. And then she goes, well, she looks great because she just bleached her hair. Excuse me? Like, honestly, the way she said that to me in front of this other person, like, it got so awkward because we all felt the venom in that statement. And I just looked at her like, And she couldn't even deny how awkward she had just made it. And she's like, oh, sorry. And even the way she said sorry, it was kind of like, oh, sorry, I just can't help my own insecurity. Sometimes I unleash on others. You know, I cut that bitch off. You know, it's just, you get to a point in your life where you don't wait for people to show you who they are twice. If you're a people pleaser, you probably wait for someone to disrespect you multiple times before you put up guardrails or before you cut them off. But I'm here to tell you, once again, I'm giving you the permission that you should give yourself, which is cut people off at the first sign of disrespect. You don't need to wait for more. You don't need to take it on the chin forever, okay? And listen, with certain friendships and relationships where you're closer to a person and there's more of an established history, I do, suggest having a conversation with them first. But this gal, I mean, she was one of those friends you see at parties and, we always ha-ha kiki, but we weren't so deep. But it was just enough where I was like, you know what? If you're willing to say this to me and to humiliate me in public, I don't need you to stick around. That's the mindset as a people pleaser that you need to take on in order to better your life. All right? Cut them out. Also, even at my job, I started saying no to prospective clients at the first sign of disrespect. I was on the phone with this lady and she just had a tone. She was like, I've worked with brokers before and, they can't be trusted. And it's like, who can I trust? And it's like, is anything that you're saying even real? And I was like, whoa, lady, like, this is my profession, okay? You're not meeting me, in the back alley of some, weird swap me and I'm like asking you for your firstborn here. You came to my professional establishment looking for my service. And I'm here to answer questions, but I'm not going to let you kind of hold my feet to the fire for no reason. And honestly, once we get in the transaction, things get more stressful. So I already know that if this is how you talk to me now, when there's no stress in the air, you're gonna really bite my head off for no reason later. I was like, honestly, I don't think we're a good fit, but I do wish you all the best. Goodbye. Sayonara. See you later. Just kidding. See you never. Okay? Honestly, I got off that phone call and I felt so relieved. And I didn't have to hold tight in my gut or hold tight in my chest anymore. And then I felt relieved. But then I also felt like, oh snap. I just said no to money. Am I crazy? Am I a lunatic? But you get to a point where you get so tired of being beaten down, you're like, I'd rather be homeless. Honestly. Fast forward, someone who I'd worked with in the past calls me up and was like, hey, Melanie, I have this client who I think would be a great fit for you. Do you want to work with them? I called them. They were nice. They were respectful. And I signed them up. So that's what I'm saying. Like when you cut people out or situations out that don't honor you, don't value you, don't respect you, there is this space where you're like, uh-oh. But then also you're making space for new and better people and situations to come into your life. Because understand that if your life is filled with people who are disrespecting you and your life is filled with that, there's no space for something better to come. So it's kind of like if you're going to bring in new furniture into your room, you have to take the old furniture out. Otherwise, there's just no space. And it's going to be really uncomfortable and not livable. So if you're a people pleaser, really, I empower you to say no to the first time you get disrespected. To stand up for yourself at the first slight, because how you treat yourself is how others treat you. If they know that they can get away with that behavior on the first round, trust and believe they're going to test you again. Now, if you're a people pleaser who struggles with standing up for yourself and saying no, click my free guide below, Say No with Grace. It'll help you get started.